Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Wonder Woman issue number 751. Dudes, this was a solid issue. I genuinely, really like this issue a lot. I think that you will too. Jumping on point, it's about as close to a jumping on point as you're going to get with Wonder Woman because there's just story on top of story. You need heavy story with a Wonder Woman comic book, and I think that Orlando does a great job with doing that. Anyway, as we're breaking into it, let's talk about who made this comic book. I'll get more into the book itself. Okay, so this issue is called On the Horizon. Yeah, I know I don't do my On the Horizon videos anymore. I apologize. It's a lot of work. Maybe I'll do them again one day. Okay, so Steve Orlando is the writer. Dan Dursema on art. I can't say his name very well, but man, I can appreciate the heck out of his art. Romulo Fayaro Jr. popping with them colors. Pat Brousseau on letters. Aaron Lopresti and Hi-Fi on colors on the cover. Jenny Frison, my girl, doing all these variant covers for a long time, and she deserves it. Boom, boom, boom. William Moulton Morrison created Wonder Woman, according to DC. H.G. Oh my God, now I can't remember his name. DC, I'm actually genuinely mad at you for not putting his name in there. H.E. Howard, wow. Iger, wow. I'm actually really mad at DC right now for me forgetting, because people should not forget the creators of Wonder Woman. Okay, let's get started on this comic book, my peeps. So Wonder Woman comes home from her little hiatus. She was out fighting freaking Cheetah for like 20 years. Actually, it really felt like about a full year. With all the comic book issues where Cheetah's the main protagonist or antagonist, it's a bit much. I'm just saying it's a bit much. So anyway, finally the freaking Cheetah and God Slayer sword thing is over. We're done with. Please don't ever bring that stuff back again. Give Cheetah about a 2-year break, and I think I'll be happy to see her again. Oh, wait. Wonder Woman 1984 is going to ever end too. I wonder if that's going to frustrate me too. I don't know, man, because that was just way too much Cheetah. Anyway, for now, Wonder Woman comes back home, and hey, you remember her next door neighbor, always doing her garden, Nora Nunez? Turns out that she's a Boston Police Department cop, and she broke into Wonder Woman's house, and she's pointing a gun at her, promising that this is a special kind of gun that could take down a goddess. That's just really messed up, man. I don't think that we needed that kind of threat going on. Personally, if I'm Wonder Woman, I'm backhanding this woman through a wall, jumping up and pulling out parts of her body. But, you know, that's just me. Like, genuinely, this woman, like, she used her police status to break into Wonder Woman's house completely unlawfully and aimed a gun at her. And if that's not enough, talking about this is a special gun, it's got special bullets and all that, we're suggesting that it does. I'm sorry, you are done. You're done. I want to say done, son, but I don't think that works here. Whatever. I'm not gender specific. You're done, son. You done. Anyway, Wonder Woman's all sorts of cool. In fact, she's a little bit too cool about it. She's like, listen, you don't need a police. You don't have your little judge's order to break into my house and look around and whatnot. That's fine. That's fine. You feel free to go ahead and look around anyway. She's like, wait, really? I don't need the warrant or anything? No, you're good, because I don't have anything to hide. Look, as someone who's big on civil rights for everyone, I am a bit bothered by this. I make an exception, but first, I'm bothered by it because, yeah, that whole comment about, well, if you don't have anything to hide, then what are you worried about? This usually comes from nationalist loyalists, and it comes from the government itself, the government who has all the power and I have none of the power. Hey, I don't have anything up my butt either, but it doesn't mean I want to subject myself to a cavity search every time I walk down the street or come home. So, there's that. See, it's funny when you take a thought to its logical conclusion, it's funny where you can go. Anyway, in this particular case, though, Wonder Woman is not your common citizen. She actually has more power than the government in the sense that she could take the entire government down with just her fists alone. You know what I'm saying? I'd say give her a day and she could do that. And that probably also includes taking down Superman, who's going to try and stop her. I'm just saying, I'm making a statement. Okay, so on top of that, Etta Candy comes over. And Etta Candy, of course, she wound up getting, Bendicized because Bendis shows up and he's just like, he might as well show up in the comic book. And he's just like, I'm destroying everything with Leviathan, a story that, for the most part, you couldn't find one person on the face of the planet who cares about. But hey. And Yeah, so now there's no more Argus or anything else. So Etta Candy now is going to put on basically a Marty McFly life preserver looking vest. And she's in this triple S thing, this site support and sustenance program, triple S. I used to clean a bar called Triple S on the weekends back in early 90s, mid 90s, early 90s. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, what do you call it? Anyway, so yeah, that was interesting. She shows up and she's doing this now. I know she must have been skimming off the top in Argus and stole some equipment, because she's got helicopters and all sorts of stuff that she's just like, hey, check it out. I just like that started a whole new nonprofit where I'm helping people, rescue department, stuff like that. That's fun. That is fun. Okay, cool, man. Whatever. I'm down with it, though. I'm down with it. One woman says, hey, Nora, you want to come with me? Now, the cool part of all this is that while all of this crazy stuff has been going down, it started off as a light drizzle when one woman was coming home. And then it suddenly broke into a major storm outside. And mind you, this is winter time. So, hey, I'm not saying that you can't have thunder in the, or, you know, in a whatever, lightning and thunder in the winter. You certainly can, but it doesn't happen nearly as often. You know what I'm saying? There's not enough combination of the highs and the lows. You know what I'm saying? That the heat, the cold fronts and the warm fronts, you don't have nearly enough of those. It's all cold. There's no reason for there to be a storm, right? Usually. In this particular case, there is. But it turns out it's actually something special, and all of a sudden lightning doesn't strike at the highest point. It strikes at Wonder Woman herself, and she's like, I gotcha. Like, dude, this was a badass scene. You want to see how cool the scene was? Buy the comic book. I'm not even joking, man. This was a freaking solid comic book. All of a sudden, she's got to face these Dark Fates characters. Woof. Wow. Nunez turns out to be a pretty important character, you know, as we, just from what I told you alone, forget about the stuff that happens later where you see she's going to be sticking around. It's almost like she's going to be a new sidekick for Wonder Woman. Is this going to be a major character? Good chance. If she is, hey, it was just like 2 issues ago in issue number 82, before they switched to the 750 logo, what do you call it, legacy numbers, issue number 82 of Wonder Woman, just a couple months ago. That was the first appearance of this Nora Nunez character. So if you're interested in what is possibly going to be a key collector's issue, go and get it at a cover price. You might even be lucky enough to find it in a dollar bin or something like that. Who knows? Who knows? So anyway, yeah, Wonder Woman goes and faces these Dark Fates, but they claim to be cleverer than she is strong. And they do seem to be a little bit afraid of her, but they're pretty sure that they can outmaneuver her. Anyway, that's when the book should end, right? Nope. You wind up getting 3 more endings where new characters are introduced. There's also the hint of a promise that, here's a big time favorite for a whole lot of people, Wonder Woman's brother could wind up showing up again. What's this now? Excuse me, I was not particularly a big fan of Wonder Woman's brother, but I can obviously see that I'm in the minority on this, because there are a lot of people who are railing for his return. They're talking about Wonder Woman might have to be facing a prince at some point. That's a pretty big deal. Whole bunch of new characters in here also, and it's a freaking weird one, man. And I love it. Seriously, there was very little in this comic book that I did not love. The epic like build-up from the drizzle to being stricken by lightning, and then flying through a torrential, unnatural storm. Holy crap, my peeps! This was amazing. This was amazing. And then to have those 3 endings afterwards where new stories and plots are introduced. This is a solid comic book. One of the best issues of Wonder Woman that I have read in a long, long time, man. I really loved this. Mr. Orlando is back. Dude's probably got 1 foot out the door, though, man. He dropped his exclusive DC contract, said, I'm going to go into freelancing. I'll still do Wonder Woman, but like, this is akin to having 1 foot out the door. Either he's got some great projects that he wants to start doing, or he got another job at Marvel also. And it's like, I'm going to see who's going to take care of me more, because, you know, so that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So seriously, love this while you can, because it might not be around forever. And if somebody all of a sudden gets stuck being thrown onto freaking Wonder Woman, you're talking about somebody who's probably going to have to find their voice again. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see. In the meantime, like I said, just enjoy what we got, because this was a great issue. And yes, definitely a jumping on point. Forget about whatever happened. Forget about where Wonder Woman came from, when she was coming home. Where'd she come from? Fighting the cheetah for 20 years. Here, she's home now, and this is where the Wonder Woman story starts. Jump on the book. You're going to like it. And I'm out. I'm out after I say, you probably already subbed, but did you hit the like button for this? Turn the phone sideways for that. Also, right about now, the images should be appearing over here so you can check out another video. I ain't mad if you decide to check out another video, but if an ad shows up at the end of this, please consider watching that. That's the only way that your favorite YouTubers get paid. Love you guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.